bienvenue à 11.6 subjunctive use obligation. So you've been with me for 11.4, 11.5 when we've gone over the regular subjunctive and the irregular subjunctive. This is going to be the easiest and the quickest. Okay, maybe you already know that because you've seen how long this video is. It's so simple. We're only going to learn right now, and all you have to know right now is that you need to use subjunctive for obligation, as in, you must do this. Okay, now, I know what you're thinking. I already know how to say that because I know how to say tu dois, je dois. Okay, we're going to look at some specific phrases that require the subjunctive, and it's not je dois. Okay, so put je dois over and aside, pack it away, and realize, yes, you know how to say je dois, you know how to say tu dois, you have to, but we're going to look at completely different phrases that are going to use subjunctive, okay, that still express obligation. So that was like a French 1 kind of way to say it, where you didn't have to know the subjunctive, and it's still valid, you still get to use that, but now we're going to kind of start working on the big boy, big girl French here, and learn the subjunctive for these sorts of statements of obligation, like you must. Now, what you also might be thinking is, I already know how to say this because last chapter I know il faut. Il est nécessaire de. And you are correct. You know how to say it, but this was more in general. You were using impersonal statements here. 1, il est nécessaire de, and you followed it with an infinitive. Il est nécessaire de dormir. Infinitive. It's necessary to sleep. Okay. General statement. Or you could say, il faut dormir. Okay? Same thing. It's necessary to sleep. One must sleep, you could think about it. But this is still an impersonal statement, kind of like it. There's not a perfect translation for that. But just, it's necessary to sleep. We avoided using the subjunctive because we either had de or we just said il faut and we went right to the infinitive. Now we're going to use the same exact words, but we're going to change one little thing. We're going to add in que. Il est nécessaire que. Il faut que. Okay, I said one thing, actually I meant two things. We added the que. And what else are we going to add? You'll see there's 2 blanks. Okay? When we add 2 blanks, usually it means I not only have the verb, but I have a subject as well. That's the main difference here. Okay, we have the que, and then we have another subject. We had this subject, an impersonal subject, talking about it. It is necessary just in general, not him or her or I or you or we or they. Nothing like that. Impersonal. Il est nécessaire que. Now we need a different subject. Now, all that to say, it could still be il. But remember, this il and this il are different. Okay? Because this il just means it. This il could represent Jacques. Okay? Il est nécessaire que Jacques ait tu dit. Okay? Remember? That's the subjunctive. I know it kind of looks similar to the present indicative. It is, but that's still subjunctive. Here, how about I say, we'll use one that looks a little more like that. Finisse ses devoirs. Okay? We use subjunctive because we have que, and because this subject is different than this subject. We have 2 different subjects here. Okay, 2 different subjects. Now, if we wanted to not repeat Jacques all the time, we could use il. Yes, they look the same, but remember they're talking about 2 different things. It is necessary that he finishes his homework, or it's necessary that he finish his homework. You see, the reason subjunctive is so hard for us as English speakers is because we just try to ignore it as best we can. But it's necessary that he finish his homework. But remember, we don't usually say he finish his homework. We say he's finishing his homework in present indicative. Okay? So we, as English speakers, we make mistakes all the time when we should use subjunctive and we don't. We just don't use it as much as the French. So, il est nécessaire que Jacques finisse ses devoirs. We have a different subject and we have the que. Il faut que. We added the que. Here we had no que and we had an infinitive verb. Here we have a que and now we don't have an infinitive verb. We say, il faut que tu... let's use a weird one. Aille à l'école. Okay? It's necessary that you go to school. Okay, that you go to school. Two different subjects, and we have the que. Okay? Other phrases that work just like this. Il est nécessaire que, il faut que, il est essentiel que, il est préférable que. All these things that are expressing obligation, and you hear that big word that should be throwing off alarm bells now. Que. Okay? Then we have a different subject, and we follow it by the subjunctive. That's really where I want you to focus your time. Don't waste a whole lot of energy saying, is it indicative, is it subjunctive? If you see the main list that we're going to learn with this 11.6, il est nécessaire que, il faut que, then just put subjunctive. You just got to use it, okay? Just focus on those things, then we'll broaden horizons to other uses. Okay? Bon courage, au revoir!